I'm sure you're having a good time. And right now, it is time for Mastermind with Kate. Coach Kate Onokumaya is a life coach, an independent life coach from of the John Maxwell team, and she holds seminars and gives life coaching to people out there. You can reach her on our email, kateonokumaya@gmail.com. And today promises to be a very interesting episode. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. It is Mastermind with Kate. Yes, it is Mastermind with Kate, and of course we have our coach Kate in the house. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm very fine, ma.
Alright.
Okay, so what do you have for us today?
Well, today I'm going to be talking about character. The topic is character first.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Because in leadership, character is very, very, very important. The character of a leader defines that leader. So we need to have our character right. Okay. So we all know, we've all heard about character. We know what character is. The character is not something we were born with.
Okay.
It's not something we're born with. It's not something we cannot change. We are all born. We were created as we are, but we were not created with a definite kind of character. We are created with a personality type, but we're not created with a character type. So we need to get that right. A lot of times you hear people make excuses for character slips. They say something like, that's who I am, that's how I am, I've always been like this, I cannot change. You know, that's not true. You can change. If there's a problem with your character, you can change. You can correct it. So those are just excuses we give for character slips. I've done it. Before I gained awareness of it, I used to do it, you know. In trying to defend my action, I will say, that's just how I am. I cannot change. I can't change that because that's just the way I am. No, you can change if you apply yourself to it. Character is something we all take responsibility for. We must take personal responsibility for our character. Your parents are not responsible for your character. And that's another thing we need to understand. We cannot adopt our parents' character. It's not possible. We are personally responsible for building our own character. Yes, you can seek help, you can be helped. You need to take full responsibility for it. And how do we do that? By choosing how we respond to what happens in our lives. It's a choice. Things happen. Things are bound to happen. Good things, bad things. But the way we respond to them is a choice we must make. How do you respond to winning? How do you respond to losing? How do you respond to success? How do you respond to failure? How do you respond to getting rich? And how do you deal with hard times? So those are choices that we make. And we have to live by those choices. We choose it and then we live by those choices. That's what defines our character. Building character is like cultivating a garden. You know, plant seeds in the garden, you water the seeds, you nurture the seeds, you take away the weeds, you remove weeds so that the seeds can grow very well. Those seeds, you plant them in your heart. You plant them by making right choices. You plant them by responding positively to the situation in your life. So those are seeds we plant. We live by it, we grow those seeds, and we cultivate the garden, and we become better every day as we get into that process. Because, you know, growing a garden is a process. You have to prepare the soil, you have to till it, you have to water it, you need to prepare the seeds, you need to plant the seeds, you need to water. It's a process. So we need to get into that process and know that it doesn't happen overnight. It's something we must engage in until the roots of seeds we planted are deeply in the soil of our hearts. So character is not who you are, but it's who you choose to be. Really, it's who you choose to be. It's not who you are, it's who you choose to be. It's a choice. And personally, I've noticed one thing. It works for me and it works for everything. If we go by the golden rule of life, the golden rule that says, do unto others what you want them to do to you.
Yeah.
That will help you in defining good and acceptable character. How do you respond to situations? How do you respond to people? That helps you to define your character. If you're responding based on how you want to be treated, that will help you in defining your character. If you can just treat others the way we would like to be treated in every circumstance, whether they are wrong or right, that will help us in defining our character. The good character really it's doing the right thing, not just because it's the right thing, because it's the right thing to do. It is doing the right thing just because it is the right thing to do. How we build character defines our values. How is displayed in our values? How do we live our life? How we live our life displays our character. It's very easy to claim we have good character. That's one thing. If you ask 99% of people, they will say they have good character. It's very difficult to admit that your character is faulty. Most people I have met, they think they have good character. Somebody will lie and tell you that when you ask him, you give you a good reason for lying. You give you a good reason for lying, and he tell you, that's just the way I am. You know, it's Nigeria now. We're in Nigeria. You just have to do it to get along. You know, you don't just do it to get along. That defines your character. And that most people will tell you, they will justify it by their environment. They will use their environment to justify it. They will use what the other person did to them to justify it. When you have character problems, you have to recognize it. You have to recognize it.
That's true.
And how do you do that? You recognize it by how you respond in moments of crisis or adversity. In moments of stress, when you're stressed, you recognize how you respond in those circumstances. That's how you know how your character is. A leader deals the circumstances of life because they are important. to his character. So he thinks before he speaks. He thinks before he acts. He values people. He relates with people the way he wants related with. He adds value to people around him. He shows love, care for people. That defines his character as a leader. John Maxwell said something. He said adversity is a crossroads that makes a person choose one or two paths. Character or compromise. Adversity is a crossroads that makes a person choose one or two paths. Character or compromise. Most often people forgive lack of skill in a leader, but they will never forget lack of character. If your character is bad, people don't forget that. Because as a leader, you are expected to be an example of good character. And people will follow you if your character is good. Now, how do we develop this character? How do we develop good character? I'm just going to give us a few steps. These are not exhaustive, there are many more, but I'm going to give us 5 steps on how you can develop good character. The very first one is you need to recognize that your character is faulty. How do you do that? By the way you respond to circumstances in life. Things happen. Bad things happen. Good things happen. How do you respond to them? But especially the bad things, the times of stress and adversity, circumstances where you are so stressed, circumstances of failure, adversity, how do you respond in those circumstances? So if your response is negative, then that means you need to deal with your character. You need to work on your character. That's the first step. Recognize the fact that you need to work on your character. Because like I said, 99% of people, if you ask them, they will tell you they have good character. But just watch them in moments of adversity or stress. Then you will know. So, as a leader, you evaluate yourself, evaluate your responses in those times of stress, in those times of adversity. See how you respond. Then you will know if you need to work on your character or not. But I think everybody needs to work on their character. Because there's nobody that is 100% perfect when it comes to character. Now, the next step is that you should take responsibility for your character. Now, the first step, recognize that you need to work on your character, number one. Secondly, take responsibility, personal responsibility for working on your character, for cultivating that character, the character of a leader. You need to take full responsibility, 100% responsibility for that. Nobody can do it for you. You have to engage in it by yourself. You can seek help, but you need to do it by yourself.
Okay.
But the third point on how to develop good character is by using daily affirmations. Use daily affirmations to determine how you will respond to circumstances. Daily affirmations it helps because you're building into your subconscious how you are going to respond in times of adversity, how you are going to respond in moments of stress, how you are going to respond to fear, how you are going to respond to winning. So you use daily affirmations. You can create your own affirmation, or you can use Bible scriptures. I use Bible scriptures and I use daily affirmation. One of my favorites that I use in responding in times of adversity. In Psalm 119, verse 165. That's one of my favorites. It says, "Great things have they which love thy law." So, and the nothing shall by any means offend us from. I use that in times of adversity. And as a child, I stumbled upon this point because the desiderata, I still have it pasted in my office. I love it so much. So I memorized this poem as a child, and it helped me to build my character. Because growing up, from very young, I understood that character is important and that I need to build my character if I want to achieve success in life. Maybe because I was a star student, I don't know, and maybe because the eyes were on me to perform, to keep performing, and to keep maintaining my grades. I don't know, but I had this consciousness that character is important, and I need to build my character. So I searched for resources to use to build my character. That's how I stumbled upon this one with the Siddhartha. Let me see. Let me. I think I can read it. Let me read it so that our listeners, I'm sure you'll be able to pick something.
Yes.
It says, "Go plant safely amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dumb and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Interested in your own career, however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of it. Nurture strength of spirit, shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. Are a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars, you have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, know that the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its charm, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. That is the Siddhartha. It's right here in front of me all the time. So if you must be great, if you must lead well, then you must place high value on character. It is very difficult to climb up the ladder of success. It's one rung at a time. It's a process to climb and decline. It's very easy to crash down because of one tiny slip in character. So we need to be very careful. So the next one, how to build, how to develop good character is forgive in advance.
Forgive in advance.
Bad things are going to happen. You're going to come across people that do not value people. It will happen. It happens every day. But we must learn to forgive them. We must make up our minds to forgive them. Yes, they will annoy you, but you need to make up your mind to forgive them. That's very important. One hurt cannot replace another, cannot heal another hurt. So we need to make up our minds to forgive others. And our last point of today is, as a leader, we know that you are an example. You are like royalty. Let's take, for example, the life of a king or of a prince. A king will be very careful with what he says and the way he acts. So we need to understand that we are royalty. We need to be conscious of the fact that we are different as leaders. We are royalty. We are examples to the world. We are supposed to add value to the world. So we need to recognize that fact and be very conscious, very aware of how we respond to circumstances in life. So those are the few points of how to develop good character I have for us today. So let's not forget, character is very, very, very important. We need to be conscious of it, and we need to get into the process of developing good character. Thank you very much, Titi.
Thank you very much, Ma. Wow, what a wonderful piece right there from our Coach Kate, talking about character. Yes, character is very important, especially for you out there who is a leader. Everyone is a leader in one way or the other, and your character is what sustains you. She has said here that building character is like planting a garden, it's like cultivating a garden. You have to, it's a process, dealing with the soil, planting the seeds, removing the weeds, going through the proper process to have a good character. And nobody is born with character, but you have it, or you build it over time, and you can unlearn and learn new characters as you please. Thank you so much, Ma, for today's wonderful episode on Mastermind with Kate. You can always reach our Coach Kate on via her email. That's kateonokamaya@gmail.com, and also you can reach her via our Facebook page, facebook.com/Kate/Radio Global NG. Yes, and whatever questions you have, whatever it is that you want to address us, just send it to us, and we will be sure to have your comments and your questions answers. Thank you so much for another wonderful episode today on Mastermind with Kate. Stay tuned for another wonderful edition next week, same time. Don't go anywhere. It's still Radio Global, where we are redefining your radio experience.